Hi, this is Jessica with Dining Traveler, and welcome to episode 5 of part 2 of the Dining Traveler cooking series, where we try some of our favorite international dishes at home. And this time we are going to El Cono Sur. We're going to Chile, Argentina, through grilling. But this time I have a little bit of help, and we're here in my backyard with Pedro and Julio, who are the owners of one of my favorite wine and liquor shops in DC, Grand Cata. Thank you for being here in my house.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Jessica, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, bien, y súper pompeada para poder hacer este grilling sudamericano aquí en casa. And so grilling is a big thing all over Latin America. A lot of people don't know that actually the term barbacoa, barbecue, comes from
De taínos, en la cuenca del Caribe.
From our original peoples from Puerto Rico, and it's all over Latin America. Parrillada is a big part of our menus, and especially in South America, it's huge. You're from Chile.
Correct, and it's a party basically.
Yes.
It's when we get together and we have fun, we eat, we drink, and we kind of forget about all the troubles of the world.
All the political drama in our countries. So we are going to have some awesome cuts of meat that you guys are offering at La Cosecha.
La Cosecha, our second location. Grand Cata has a flagship in the Shar neighborhood in Washington, D.C. And we opened our second location, La Cosecha, as a part of the contemporary Latin market. And over there, we're doing like a grocery, deli / bottle shop. And we sell all these beautiful custom meats that we're going to enjoy tonight.
We are bringing Latin America and South America closer to our home here.
Latin America in Brooklyn. So let's get started. So now we are going to get ready to season the meat. So what kind of cuts are we working with here?
This is the fun part. I mean, by the way, with Pedro, we are business owner, we are a business partner, but as well very good friend. My best friend over here, and we grill every single week. So this is nothing new for us.
It's like muscle memory.
yeah, kind of. So if we forget something, that's very fun.
With the grill.
We're gonna start with kind of the appetizer, the traditional appetizer. So we have Chorizo Argentino and this is blow sausage.
Morcilla.
But we have something special as well that you can find in La Cosecha.
So we also have the beautiful tira asado, is the Argentine style short rib, bone in. So a thicker cut of meat. We have a ojo de bife, this traditional ribeye that we love here in the stateside, and then we have vacío. That's technically kind of like the flank steak babette style that we love as well. And then last but not least, the molleja, the sweetbreads, that we definitely want you to try because they're kind of unique and they're delicious.
So basically what we're going to be doing here is just adding salt and pepper to the meat. And these are beautiful cuts, pretty much directly from Argentina that we are bringing it. And they are great, so you don't need to add any other flavors than salt and pepper. So we're going to start with the vacío. And the vacío needs just a little bit of salt for each side, and basically that's it. And don't worry about putting too much of this sea salt, because we can get rid of later on the meat before putting it in the barbecue. And as well, we love the fat, so we're gonna not take any part of that beautiful fat out of the cut. That's gonna give amazing flavor to the barbecue. Al asado. Same thing with the short rib. We're gonna grab it and just put a lot of salt to it. And again, we can remove this salt before putting it in the parrilla. Do the same thing con el ojo de bife.
El ojo de bife.
I was mentioning to you guys off camera that when I bought my first grill, I was like, oh, I'm just going to throw the coals in there and whatever, but there is a science to this, right?
Absolutely. Temperature is super important. You know, with grilling and cooking, especially when you're at home, you need time and patience. The Weber, we're not doing a commercial for Weber, but we're using this grill. We have half of the charcoal on one side, and you always want to have like a hot side and a not so hot side, so you can transition the meats as they cook. Once you put the custom meats on the grill, you don't have to touch them that much, especially when the heat is on point. And I always recommend, like Julio always tells me, put your hand count to 10. 1, 2, always still super hot.
Okay.
So right now,
We're gonna wait a few more minutes.
we need to ease out the heat. We can go ahead and put some of the cuts on the side that doesn't have the intense heat, and then you always have to be looking, always have to be involved in the grilling. And obviously a nice Quilmes beer will be great to savor the meats as we cook them.
As a matter of fact, hint, Jessica's gonna go and grab the beer. So now we have our beers. Julio now has his apron. You're ready. And this apron is from Chile.
Oh yes, it's from Chile. Very special apron. My mom made it for me, so I take a special place in my heart. And by the way, I travel with this apron everywhere because you never know when you have to.
Parrillada. And it has your name on it, so si alguien te lo trata de robar, dice Robledo. Okay, so we are gonna get ready. So which one are we gonna do first?
So we're gonna start with the mollejas. A molleja is a delicate cut of the inside of the cheek of the cow. So don't be afraid to touch it. Put it on the grill, por favor, Julio. It's super important. The mollejas, just leave it as is. You need the crust. You need the time. Usually this type of cut, I would say probably 45 minutes on one side and then like 30 minutes on the other side. So you have to twist it a lot. Again, respect the meats, respect the fire is super important.
And it's like I was saying this on the pernil video, because sometimes you put stuff on the oven, you put it on the grill, and you get a little antsy, but do not touch the meat till it's done. Patience.
So at the same time, we're gonna put on the grill the short ribs.
Okay.
An important part, the short rib, you're gonna put it from the side of the bone.
Oh, okay.
And just
beautiful cut. It's gonna be at least 45 minutes to 50 minutes, so you can seal that side, and then it's already gonna be infusing the heat to the side of the protein, and then you can move it to the next side and just cook it. And we like it medium, but if you want a little bit well done, you can do so as well.
So while we wait 45 minutes, we have
Quilmes.
Quilmes is, this is my first time having this. Is an Argentinian beer.
The most
traditional beer.
Yeah, this is like a medalla of Argentina.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we have it available in both locations. We love Quilmes. It's just a palate cleanser.
Quilmes, asado, and alfajores. They're part of the Argentina.
This is the trifecta. Okay.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Salud.
Salud. Now we're gonna do el vacío tradicional argentino. Also, people know it here as the flank steak or the babette, whatever word you want to use. We're gonna put the greasy part first. You can hear the nice heat on it.
So you guys put it right on the direct heat.
On the direct heat, now that the heat is kind of more settled down, you want the effect of the smoke coming up.
And it's important, Pedro, to mention that for the vacío, for this cut, you don't need that high heat. Wait around 10 seconds for your hands with your hands in the parrilla, and then it's gonna be ready for the vacío.
Another important tip: once you have it on the grill, make sure that when you start seeing a little bit of blood coming up, that means it might be ready to be flipped over, depending on your ideal temperature and if you want it medium well, or raw, or medium raw. We like it medium, so a little bit of blood is always important.
So the flavor's out.
Yeah, of course.
Now we're moving to the wines, and what do you have here?
So we picked 3 wines from Argentina. Obviously, with Asado Argentino, we need Argentine wine. Here is one of our beautiful rosés. We love rosé throughout the year. Fun fact, in DC, the highest per capita consumption of rosé in the nation is here in DC, so keep it up. Drink your rosé. We love rosé because throughout the year, you can enjoy it with a lot of different cuisines. So if you go to a dinner party, you go to hang out with friends and family in a social distancing matter. Rosé, if you don't know what they're serving, rosé is always a good choice. This is a free-running juice, Hey Rosé from Mattia Riccitelli. This is one of the young rising stars of Argentina winemakers. And then this is 100% Malbec from Mendoza. He works here with different vineyards within the Mendoza region. Keep in mind Mendoza in terms of extension and geography. It's high altitude, you get the foothill of the Andes. It's kind of the size of Spain, so what Argentina is improving and doing with Matias Riccitelli and many other winemakers, they are specialized in single vineyard and understanding the terroir, the soils, and how to develop the best expression of the varieties that they're working with. I think with the choripan that we're gonna have shortly will work really well. As you know, every time you do an asado in South America, el choripan is always present.
Yes, and this is like, in choripan is just chorizo and pan and bread. And this is, as you can see, is getting a bit darker because the parrillada is like an all-day event. So just make sure that you book a good 6-7 hours to do this, and most importantly, have enough wine. So this is why we're going to be showing you different types of wines throughout.
We put the chorizos first in a high heat, and then we move it to the corner of the parrilla, just in case of overheat, and you're gonna get a really good crust, and inside is still gonna be kind of like very soft texture.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about the morcillas, because I know I'm from Puerto Rico and it's something that I grew up eating. Actually, my mom and my aunts actually made them. And but you know, when you talk to people in the States, they're like, ew, it's blood sausage. Like, can we like normalize morcillas, por favor?
There's a little bit of contrast within the styles in Puerto Rico. As you know, I have the hat. I'm also from Puerto Rico. We do them with rice in the middle of the sausage, and then we also like deep fry them twice. In comparison with South America, and Julio can explain more, they're usually more creamier and they're more softer.
That's right, it's creamier, softer, and you add a lot of more, I don't know, more spice, but you add a lot of spice between oreganos and pepper, basically, to the pepper.
And so you can have it as part of the choripan. You can eat it by itself, or you can also spread it on bread. Beautiful. I wasn't a fan of morcilla per se, but once I tried the morcilla in South America, I do appreciate them now, and I love them.
Well, I like them both. Salud. Salud.
This time we're using Puerto Rican sobao bread that we just got into Grand Cata La Cosecha.
Correct. And by the way, with the bread for the choripan, you are not looking something like super crunchy. You want to warm up the bread a little bit, not too high heat. So you can really enjoy the chorizo, which is the star of the show.
So it's nice and toasted, because you know pan sobao is very soft. If you've been familiar with it, or you're from Puerto Rico, you know. So you put it on the grill, and it has that nice little crunch,
smoky flavor, and a little crunch, but not too crunch.
And we have a house-made chimichurri that we make in La Cosecha. A recipe with our dear friend and chef Diego Felix from Colectivo Felix. Shout out to him. He's probably gonna watch us after we talk about it. He's from Argentina actually, so the chimichurri has been a big hit in our operation.
And he told us you can have the chimichurri, but not the recipe. So sorry, guys.
So we continue with that wine because Grand Cata mistakes, and we love wine, and that's what we're known for. Now we're gonna jump into the selections. These are kind of more of the transition summer / fall selections. Kind of lesser known varieties that people don't know they're producing in Argentina. So we're gonna start with Verde Sacrum. It's a Grenache variety originating from Spain. A lot of people know it from France, Australia, Chile, but in Argentina, Eduardo Soler, he was one of our winemaker of the year for our wine club. He introduced this variety to the landscape in Argentina.
Garnacha is a grape that it's been recently introduced to the country, so it's kind of a good experiment that he's doing here, which is fantastic. Now, what you're gonna get in this wine, and you're gonna see the color in the glass, super light. He doesn't that much extraction. So if you have a wine, a Garnacha from Priorat or in Spain that has a lot of intensity, he's not looking for that. He's looking more like a Chateauneuf du Pape, more like lighter Garnacha.
Oh wow, it is very light.
Like a Pinot Noir. I mean, look at that beautiful color, and you're gonna get an amazing minerality. And that is the key in the wine, because he's gonna look at the terroir, at the soil that he has, and wanna transfer that to the grape.
When you're having the experience of the asado, you know, sort the wine, look at its appearance, smell it. Kind of 2 sniffs gets a little bit of the aromatics going on the nose, and then you try it, you taste it. This one is fresh, acidity. You get a little bit raspberry, a little bit strawberries.
I was gonna say that it's berries. It's
super fresh, and that's what we want because the meats are already a little bit heavy. It's still summer, so we don't want a big one that will overpower the deliciousness of the grill.
And Pedro, that's a super important point when it's the time to pair wine with meat. And I mean, you have chorizo and you have the vacío and the short ribs. Many people go with like super intense red wine that is going to have huge tannins. It's kind of hot still. We want something fresh. We want the acidity. Acidity is going to clean your palate. It's going to like fight with that fat that you're going to have in your mouth. Clean your palate. Next sip, next piece of meat.
So we got el pan sobao. We got the chorizo already. I cut it in half. You can do a butterfly cut if you want to eat the entire link. And then we have a little bit of our house-made chimichurri from our friend Diego Felix.
Is this kind of like the appetizer of the chorizo?
It's always appetizer, so you need to.
Because the meat takes a little while, so now you're like, okay.
You don't want to go too hungry. And secondly, we're being already enjoying a beer and some wine, so we're gonna.
You don't want to pass out before you get your.
Get in the right food. Okay, let's prepare that to our friend Julio Robledo de Chile.
Yes.
So Argentina, again, huge landscape. The Pinot Noir comes from the Patagonia. It's actually in the region of the province of Neuquén. Pinot Noir shines over there, super a little bit colder, higher, lesser altitude. So we have a very nice finesse on the wines. You get aromatics, you get acidity, that's super important, and you get the delicate fruit composition. So I already have a choripan for you, Jessica. If you want to join us over here and you can try it. So this is Alto Limay. This is it's actually one of the ones that we also feature one of our amazing wine clubs. Self-promoting a little bit, wine club is one of our go-to experiences in Grand Cata. The wine club entails 2 bottles of wine, a gift, tasting notes. It's only $40 month to month, so if you want to try more of the delicious wine from Latin America, plenty of those.
And that's for local folks in DC?
Local folks in DC. If you're a state that we can ship to, just contact us, info@grandcata.com, and we can make it happen.
Oh, I love it's like the sweet, like cherry.
Yeah, super fragrant, enticing on the glass, and you can actually savor a little bit of the wine without even trying it with the aromatics. This will work really well with La Tira Asado. Is almost done. On these light body red wines, temperature is super important, so make sure you always stick them in the cooler for at least 20-30 minutes before enjoying, and then sip away.
So, and because this is actually a discussion we were having the other night while we were eating, and drinking red wines, is that some of them do need a little bit of cooling. So which are the red wines that you would like that taste better cool?
Any medium to light body reds, ideally, if you buy in our store, you should stick it in the cooler for at least 20 to 30 minutes, so you can get the ideal temperature for enjoying it.
Yeah, any kind of wine, that red wine should be a little lower than temperature than room temperature.
Okay.
So 65 degrees.
A little fresher.
Yeah, 65 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit is always the ideal temperature.
Yes.
Yeah, this is not required step, but we love it with the short rib.
So now we're gonna introduce the famous ojo de bife.
Ahí eso es un choripan with chimichurri, chorizo, and
Pan sobao de Puerto Rico.
Eso.
Ahí vamos.
So vacío, we already took it around 7 minutes ago from the grill. You wanna let it rest. If you don't do that and you just cut it right away, you're gonna lose all the juice. And we're gonna cut it here against the fiber of the muscle. So the muscle going this way, I'm gonna cut it this way.
Perfecto.
You learn something new every day.
This is actually one of our favorite custom meats. It's just juicy, tender, and just
The good
Taking
thing,
it back to Argentina.
exactly, and the good thing, like cutting it against the muscle, is that you're gonna be able to see the pieces of fat inside of the muscle, and that's an indication of very good meat. So the way that we're gonna do it is we're gonna find the space between the bones and just put the knife through it. And this is the color. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the way you have to look. Now you can actually take the bone out if you want it. That's no problem. And you just have a beautiful piece of meat over here, and then you can cut it again. We'll let it rest for around, again, 5 minutes. The ojo de bife should be ready now. We're gonna take this part, set it aside, and we're gonna cut it just following the same way that we did with the short rib, again, the fiber. You can even put some salt on top if you really want to have more salt, but this is gonna be just perfect.
So this is how we make una parrillada sudamericana. I'm not going to say just Argentina because it's also Chilena. And thank you so much for the meats and for the wines. And I actually learned a lot from this whole experience. I really appreciate it. Así que salud.
Salud, thank you so much for the invitation.
And make sure if you are in DC or you're visiting DC, you have to check out Grand Cata, and there's 2 locations.
2 locations. We're in the Char neighborhood, our flagship wine, spirits, and beer. And then we have our second location, La Cosecha, the Harvest, is in the northeast neighborhood of DC. We do grocery, deli, and bottle shop.
And the sandwiches are really good, trust me. They take my money all the time.
Excellent.
So thank you so much. Salud.
Salud, buen provecho.
Ciao.